Let's begin with this. Have you ever truly felt aligned with something greater than yourself? I mean, not just a fleeting feeling of connection, but a deep, unshakable sense that your very existence is part of something vast, timeless, and profoundly meaningful. If you haven't, don't worry. If you have, then you know exactly why this matters. Because the spiritual awakening journey is not just about understanding life. It's about living it differently. It's about stepping into a higher vibrational state where clarity, purpose, and peace become your default. And today we're going to explore exactly how to align your vibration with that journey. To start, we need to talk about vibration. Everything in the universe vibrates. This isn't just spiritual woo-woo, it's science. At the subatomic level, everything is energy, constantly in motion. Your thoughts, emotions, and even the cells in your body emit vibrational frequencies. But here's the kicker. Your vibration acts like a magnet, constantly attracting experiences, people, and circumstances that match your frequency. Ever notice how when you're in a bad mood, everything seems to go wrong? Or when you're feeling grateful, good things start showing up out of nowhere? That's not a coincidence, it's resonance. So, if you're on a spiritual awakening journey, the first step is understanding that aligning your vibration is the key to everything. But how do you do it? How do you shift from the heaviness of fear, doubt, and confusion into the higher vibrations of love, joy, and awareness?
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
The answer lies in awareness. You see, you can't change your vibration unless you're aware of where you are. Most of us are running on autopilot, reacting to life based on old programming, unconscious fears, and societal conditioning. Think about it for a moment. How much of your day is spent in reaction mode? How often are you truly present, fully engaged with the moment, and aware of what you're feeling, thinking, and projecting? If you're like most people, probably not as often as you'd like. And that's okay. The journey begins with recognizing this. Start paying attention to your internal state throughout the day. Are your thoughts uplifting or draining? Are your emotions expansive or constricting? Awareness is the first step because it creates a gap, a moment where you can choose differently. Here's a practical exercise to try. Set a timer on your phone to go off every 2 hours. When it does, pause for a moment and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? What thoughts are looping in my mind? Don't judge what you find, just observe. This simple practice of self-awareness will start to break the unconscious patterns that keep you stuck in lower vibrations. Now that you've begun to cultivate awareness, the next step is to consciously shift your vibration. And here's where it gets interesting. There are countless ways to raise your vibration, but the most powerful ones are those that directly connect you to your higher self, the part of you that is already aligned with the spiritual awakening journey. One of the simplest and most effective tools is gratitude. Gratitude is like a vibrational supercharger. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you instantly align yourself with the energy of abundance and love. But let's be real, it's easy to feel grateful when life is going well. The real challenge is practicing gratitude when you're in the middle of chaos or struggle. So here's a deeper question for you. Can you be grateful even for the challenges in your life? Can you see them as opportunities for growth and transformation rather than obstacles? Try this. Every night before you go to bed, write down 3 things you're grateful for. And don't just list the obvious stuff like your family or your job. Push yourself to find gratitude for things you'd normally overlook, like the way the sunlight hits your window that morning or the fact that you had clean water to drink. As you do this, notice how your energy shifts. Gratitude rewires your brain to focus on the positive, which naturally raises your vibration. Another powerful way to align your vibration is through meditation. Meditation isn't just about sitting in silence. It's about tuning into your true self, the part of you that exists beyond the noise of your mind. When you meditate, you quiet the chatter of your ego and create space for higher frequencies to flow through you. But if you're new to meditation, it can feel frustrating at first. Your mind will wander. You'll wonder if you're doing it right. And that's okay. The key is to let go of expectations and simply allow yourself to be. Here's a meditation you can try. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale slowly through your mouth. As you breathe, imagine a golden light entering your body with each inhale, filling you with warmth and peace. With each exhale, imagine any tension, fear, or negativity leaving your body. Do this for 5 minutes and notice how your vibration shifts. But let's go deeper. Meditation isn't just about relaxation, it's about transformation. As you meditate, you may start to notice subtle shifts in your perception. You might feel more connected to the present moment, more aware of the beauty around you, or more in tune with your intuition. This is your vibration aligning with the spiritual awakening journey. And speaking of intuition, this is another crucial aspect of aligning your vibration. Your intuition is your direct line to your higher self. It's the quiet inner voice that guides you toward what is true and aligned for you. But here's the thing, your intuition is always speaking to you, but are you listening? Most of us have been conditioned to ignore our intuition in favor of logic, reason, or external validation. But intuition doesn't shout, it whispers. It speaks in subtle nudges, gut feelings, and moments of clarity. To strengthen your intuition, start by paying attention to those quiet inner signals. When you get a gut feeling about something, honor it. When a random thought pops into your head, explore it. The more you listen to your intuition, the stronger it becomes, and the more aligned your vibration becomes with your spiritual path. Finally, let's talk about the role of emotions in your vibration. Emotions are energy in motion, and they're one of the most powerful indicators of your vibrational state. When you're feeling joy, love, or peace, your vibration is high. When you're feeling fear, anger, or sadness, your vibration is low. But here's an important distinction. Negative emotions are not bad. They're simply a feedback showing you where you're out of alignment. So the next time you feel a negative emotion, instead of resisting it or judging yourself, ask, what is this emotion trying to teach me? What part of me is asking to be healed or acknowledged? By facing your emotions with curiosity and compassion, you can release the lower vibrations and create space for higher frequencies to flow through you. And that brings us to the deeper truth of this journey. Aligning your vibration isn't about bypassing the human experience. It's about embracing it fully, both the light and the shadow, and using every moment as an opportunity to grow, expand, and align with your highest self. As we dive further into this transformative journey, let's ask ourselves something profound. Who are you when you strip away all the roles, labels, and expectations placed upon you? Who are you when the noise of the world fades and all that's left is the still, infinite essence of your being? This question is at the heart of spiritual awakening, and to align your vibration with this journey, you must begin to tune into the frequency of your higher self, the part of you that is eternal, boundless, and deeply connected to the divine. Your higher self is not some distant, unreachable part of you. It's not a future version of you or a separate entity living in some cosmic realm. It is you, right here, right now, existing beyond the filters of your mind and ego. But here's the challenge. The noise of everyday life, the distractions of modern society, and the limiting beliefs we've absorbed over time often drown out the voice of the higher self. Aligning your vibrations about quieting that noise and tuning into the frequency where your higher self resides. Let's start with a simple truth. You are already connected to your higher self. You don't need to find it or create it. It's always been there. The problem isn't a lack of connection, it's a lack of awareness. Think of it like a radio. If you're tuned into a static-filled station, it doesn't mean that clearer stations don't exist. It just means you need to adjust the dial. Similarly, aligning your vibration is about adjusting your internal frequency to match that of your higher self. So how do you do it? How do you tune into this frequency and sustain it in your daily life? The first step is to slow down. In the fast-paced modern world, we've been conditioned to equate busyness with worthiness. We jam-pack our schedules, constantly multitask, and rarely take a moment to simply be. But here's the irony. The more you rush, the more disconnected you become. Your higher self speaks in stillness, not in chaos. So, ask yourself, when was the last time you allowed yourself to simply sit in silence? When was the last time you gave yourself permission to just be, without needing to do or achieve anything? Make it a priority to create moments of stillness in your day. This doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out process. Start with just 5 minutes. Find a quiet space, close your eyes, and take a few deep breaths. As you breathe, imagine sinking deeper into the present moment, letting go of the past and future. In this space, simply observe. Notice your thoughts, your emotions, and the sensations in your body without judgment. This active presence is like a tuning fork, helping you align with the frequency of your higher self. Next, let's talk about the power of intention. Intention is one of the most underrated tools for aligning your vibration. Your higher self operates on the frequency of purpose and clarity. It's always moving toward growth, expansion, and alignment with the greater good. When you set a clear intention, you activate this frequency within yourself. But here's the catch. Your intention must come from a place of authenticity and alignment, not from ego or fear. For example, an intention like, "I want to manifest $1 million so I can feel secure," is rooted in a fear of lack. On the other hand, an intention like, "I want to create abundance so I can share my gifts with the world," resonates with the frequency of your higher self. So ask yourself, what is my true intention for aligning with the spiritual awakening journey? Is it to escape my current reality, or is it to grow, expand, and embody my highest potential? Take a moment to write down your intention. Be specific, but also allow space for the universe to work its magic. For example, you might write, "I intend to align with my higher self so I can live with greater purpose, love, and clarity. I trust that the universe will guide me toward this alignment in the perfect way and time." Keep this intention somewhere visible and revisit it daily to remind yourself of your why. Another key to tuning into the frequency of your higher self is to detach from external validation. Your higher self doesn't seek approval. It doesn't care about likes on social media, the opinions of others, or societal standards of success. It operates from a place of internal alignment, where your worth is intrinsic and unconditional. But let's be honest. How often do we look to the outside world for validation? And how often do we let our self-worth be dictated by external achievements or the approval of others? To break free from this cycle, start by acknowledging where you're seeking validation. Ask yourself, what am I chasing and why? Am I pursuing this because it aligns with my soul's purpose, or because I want to feel accepted or worthy? Once you gain clarity, begin to shift your focus inward. Instead of asking, "What will people think of me?" ask, "What feels true and authentic to me?" One of the most transformative practices for connecting with your higher self is embodiment. This means living as though you're already aligned with the frequency of your higher self, even if you don't fully feel that way yet. Think about it. If your higher self were living your life right now, how would they think, act, and feel? What choices would they make? How would they treat themselves and others? Start small. When faced with a decision, pause and ask yourself, what would my higher self do in this situation? For example, if someone criticizes you, your ego might want to react defensively, but your higher self might respond with compassion, recognizing that their criticism is a reflection of their own pain. By embodying your higher self in these small, everyday moments, you gradually align your vibration with its frequency. As you continue this practice, you'll notice something incredible. Your external reality begins to shift. This isn't magic, it's the law of resonance. When you consistently vibrate at a higher frequency, you attract experiences, people, and opportunities that match that energy. You'll find yourself surrounded by more love, synchronicity, and purpose. But here's the deeper truth. These external shifts are just a reflection of the internal transformation that's taking place. And that brings us to perhaps the most profound realization of all. Your higher self is not separate from you. It is you. The more you align your vibration, the more you'll come to see that the barriers between you and it were never real. They were illusions created by the ego, which thrives on separation and limitation. So, as we close this part of the journey, let me leave you with a question to sit with. What would your life look like if you fully embodied the frequency of your higher self? What would you let go of? What would you embrace? And most importantly, who would you become? Now that we've explored how to tune into the frequency of your higher self, we must address one of the greatest obstacles on the spiritual awakening journey, the illusion of separation. This illusion, the belief that you are a fragmented being, disconnected from the divine, from others, and even from your true self, is what keeps so many of us trapped in cycles of fear, doubt, and struggle. But the truth is, you have never been separate. The gap you perceive between your ego and your higher self, between you and the universe, is nothing more than a construct of the mind. Let's begin with this fundamental question. What is the ego, and why does it create this illusion of separation? The ego is not inherently bad. It's simply a part of you that was designed to protect you, to help you navigate the physical world. It's the part of you that identifies with your name, your story, your achievements, and your sense of individuality. But the ego thrives on duality. It defines itself by what it is not. I am this, not that. This creates a sense of me versus them, of self versus other. The problem arises when we forget that the ego is just a tool and start to believe it is the entirety of who we are. The ego clings to this identity, building walls of separation to maintain its dominance. It fears the dissolution of these walls because, to the ego, dissolving separation feels like death. Yet, for your vibration to align fully with your spiritual awakening journey, these walls must come down, not through force, but through awareness and love. So, how do we dismantle the illusion of separation and bridge the gap between our ego and our true self? The first step is to recognize that the ego is not your enemy. Fighting the ego only strengthens it. Instead, approach it with compassion. See it for what it is, a scared, limited part of you doing its best to keep you safe. Ask yourself, what am I afraid of losing if I let go of this identity? What part of me is holding on to this separation, and why? Once you've identified the fears driving your ego, the next step is to expand your awareness beyond it. This is where mindfulness becomes a powerful tool. When you practice mindfulness, you begin to observe your thoughts, emotions, and reactions without identifying with them. You step into the role of the witness, the part of you that is aware but not entangled. Here's a practice to try. The next time you feel triggered by something, a criticism, a failure, or even a compliment, pause and ask yourself, who is reacting right now? Is this my ego, or is this my true self? Simply noticing the ego in action can create a powerful shift. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. The moment you see the ego clearly, its grip on you begins to loosen. But awareness alone isn't enough. To truly align your vibration, you must actively cultivate a sense of oneness, the opposite of separation. Oneness is the understanding that you are not a separate, isolated being, but a part of an interconnected whole. It's the realization that the same divine energy flows through you, through others, and through every living thing in the universe. One of the most profound ways to experience oneness is through service. When you step out of your own ego-driven concerns and focus on helping others, you dissolve the illusion of me versus them. You align with the higher frequency of love, which is the essence of oneness. But here's the thing. Service doesn't have to be grand or dramatic. It can be as simple as offering a kind word, listening deeply to someone, or even sending love and compassion to someone who has hurt you. And this brings us to another key practice for bridging the gap between your ego and your true self: forgiveness. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful vibrational shifts you can make, yet it's also one of the hardest. When you hold on to resentment, you keep yourself tethered to the energy of separation. You build walls, not only between you and the person you're unwilling to forgive, but also between you and your higher self. But here's the truth: forgiveness isn't about condoning someone's actions. It's about freeing yourself from the vibrational weight of anger, blame, and bitterness. So ask yourself, who or what am I still holding on to? What would it feel like to let this go, to release this burden and reclaim my energy? Prophetic. If you're struggling to forgive, start small. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and imagine the person or situation that hurt you. Visualize a cord of light connecting you to them. With each exhale, imagine cutting that cord, not out of anger, but out of love for yourself. Say to yourself, I release you, I reclaim my power, I let go. Do this as many times as you need to, and notice how your energy begins to shift. Now let's go even deeper. The illusion of separation doesn't just exist between you and others, it also exists within you. How often do you reject parts of yourself because they don't fit the image of who you think you should be? How often do you judge yourself for feeling fear, anger, or sadness? This internal separation is one of the biggest barriers to aligning your vibration. To heal this, you must practice radical self-acceptance. This means embracing every part of yourself, the light and the shadow, the strength and the vulnerability, with unconditional love. Remember, your higher self sees you as whole and perfect exactly as you are. It doesn't judge or criticize, it simply holds space for you to grow and evolve. Here's a practice to help you cultivate self-acceptance. Stand in front of a mirror and look into your own eyes. As you do, say out loud, I see you, I accept you, I love you. At first, this might feel uncomfortable, even silly. But the more you do it, the more you'll begin to feel the truth of these words. You'll start to see yourself not as a flawed, fragmented being, but as a radiant, divine soul. And this brings us full circle. The illusion of separation is just that, an illusion. The more you align your vibration with the truth of oneness, the more you'll see that the gap between your ego and your higher self was never real. It was a story you told yourself, a mask you wore to navigate the world. But now, you're ready to take off that mask. So, let me leave you with this question. What would your life look like if you fully embraced the truth of oneness? How would you treat yourself, others, and the world around you if you truly believed that we are all connected, all part of the same infinite source? The poor. At this point, you've begun to dismantle the illusion of separation and have taken profound steps to align with your higher self. Now we move into the most empowering realization of the spiritual awakening journey. You are the creator of your vibrational reality. This isn't just a philosophical idea, it's a profound truth that has the power to transform every aspect of your life. Let's start with a simple but life-changing question. What if everything you experience is a reflection of your inner vibration? Not just some things, everything. The people you meet, the opportunities you attract, the challenges you face, and even the seemingly random events in your life are all mirrors of the energy you're emitting. This isn't about blaming yourself for the hard things you've experienced. It's about reclaiming your power, because if your vibration is creating your reality, then you are not a victim of circumstance. You are the master of your life. And when you fully embrace this truth, you step into the role of a conscious creator. But here's the catch. Most of us are creating unconsciously. We're allowing our subconscious beliefs, unhealed wounds, and habitual thought patterns to shape our vibration and therefore our reality. This is why the same unwanted patterns keep showing up in our lives, even when we try to change them on the surface. So let me ask you, what patterns have you been repeating in your life? What stories have you been telling yourself about who you are and what you're capable of? The first step to becoming a conscious creator is to take radical responsibility for your vibration. This means acknowledging that your inner state is the foundation of your external reality. It's not always easy to do this, especially when life feels chaotic or unfair. But here's the truth. As long as you're blaming external circumstances for your struggles, you're giving away your power. Start by shifting your focus inward. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this situation reflecting about my vibration?" For example, if you're experiencing conflict in your relationships, it might be a mirror of unresolved conflict within yourself. If you're stuck in a pattern of lack, it might reflect a belief that you're not worthy of abundance. This isn't about self-judgment, it's about self-awareness. And once you've identified the vibrational patterns that are holding you back, the next step is to consciously rewrite them. This is where the power of intention and visualization comes into play. Remember, your thoughts and emotions are like seeds. Whatever you focus on with enough energy and consistency will eventually manifest in your reality. Here's a practical exercise to try. Every morning before you start your day, take 5 minutes to visualize the reality you want to create. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and imagine yourself already living the life you desire. What does it feel like? What emotions are present? The key here is to focus on the feeling rather than the specifics. For example, instead of focusing on the exact job, house, or partner you want, focus on the feelings of fulfillment, joy and love they would bring. As you do this, you're not just imagining a distant future, you're aligning your vibration with those feelings in the present moment. And when you hold that vibration consistently, the universe responds. It's not a matter of if, but when. But let's address a common challenge: doubt. The key is not to fight your doubts, but to recognize them for what they are: temporary obstacles, not permanent truths. When doubt arises, ask yourself, who is doubting right now? Is this my higher self, or is this my ego? Once you see the doubt from the perspective of your higher self, it loses its power. And finally, let's talk about trust. Aligning your vibration with the spiritual awakening journey requires a deep sense of trust in the process. There will be moments when it feels like nothing is happening, when your external reality doesn't yet reflect the internal shifts you're making. But this is where faith comes in. Trust that the universe is working behind the scenes. Trust that every challenge is a stepping stone. Every delay is divine timing, and every moment of doubt is an opportunity to strengthen your alignment. Remember, the journey is just as important as the destination. So as we close this part of the journey, let me leave you with one final question. What reality are you ready to create, starting right now? And how can you begin to embody the vibration of that reality today? Because the moment you choose to step into your power as a conscious creator, the universe will conspire to support you in ways you can't even imagine.